I thought it was incredibly telling when yesterday, a game they came back and won in extras, all hands on deck. Rodgers was the guy they went with the pinch hit instead of Torkelson. Spoke volumes to what they thought of him at this point. And they had no choice at that point. You're right, Tom. I think they gave him every chance to be successful. You can fail and fail again. Baseball's a sport of failure. But when it got as ugly as it had in the last week, they had no choice. He was wasting a roster spot. There's a debate about what's good for Tork's development. And then there's a separate debate about what's good for this baseball team. Him being on the baseball team was hurting them. They have the responsibility to try to put out the best product possible. And we could debate whether they did that enough in the offseason, but they are into the season now. And AJ last week said, yeah, it's a developmental year, but we are still trying to win. Well, if you're trying to win, and that's Torkelson's approach, he can't be on the ball club. Separately, is this good or bad for his development? Well, I don't know. He's not going to learn to hit major league fastballs in AAA. The late breaking, nasty movement for major league pitching, he's not going to see much of it in AAA. Yeah. So I don't know. And I don't know that it's going to pan out. Now you start looking back at Torkelson thinking, he really only had one good year at Arizona State with the ping, right, the aluminum bats. He didn't get a second true evaluation year because of COVID. It's not like he was unbelievable in AAA Toledo on his way up. People feel like he was rushed up. And then you think, well, if he can't hit the major league fastball, maybe the guy's just no good. Because it's one thing if you can't hit the slider that, oh, man, at the very last second it breaks, and that's a tough son of a gun to hit. It's a fastball, dude. It's the one pitch in the middle of the plate that if you're taking or that you can't time up, you're not a big leaguer. And the Tigers gave him every chance to prove he was. And their conclusion as of yesterday is right now Spencer Torkelson's not a big leaguer. And that's grounds for being a bust when you're the number one pick, when you're supposed to be a cornerstone. He's not going to live up to that.
No, I don't think he ever will. Can he still be a part of a winning baseball team? I think he can. And I think it's going to take some time. And maybe it's the rest of this season for that he is down there, because why would you bring him up if you're just still not sure? Maybe he just needs more time. Maybe everything is just happening in reverse. He should have had more time at the beginning. They rushed him along. He's been, ruined on the mental side of things. And I don't want to underestimate the overthinking. And I don't know that there's any sport or any skill that it would handicap you more if you're overthinking trying to hit major league pitching. If you are trying to guess at what's next and you are unsure of what you're doing, the room for error as a major league hitter is so minuscule that if you're just sitting there, my hand's got to be here, I've got to do this, I've got to step here, I've got to twist, I've got to my bat path, all of those different things. Like, you can't think about those things. And there were different points in my career trying to pass protect against some of the best pass rushers in the NFL. If I was overthinking, I was beat before the ball was even snapped. And I would come to the sideline and the coach would tell me, hey, get out of your head, just go play. And when you finally are able to do that, you find out that, hey, okay, this is why I'm here. This is why I was able to get to this point. I can't actually do this. And then you start picking up on cues, but it has to be more of a reaction than it is physically sitting there thinking about, I got to step with this foot, I've got to punch with this hand, I've got to do this. If this is the defense, there's just too much going on, and it happens too fast at that level.
We're going to make some time for you guys to jump in on the phones, 248-539-9797. We'll collect the ticket text. We want your responses with Torkelson. Is he a bust? Where are you at with him? Is he unpacks in AAA Toledo now, sent down after the game yesterday? One last note, stat-wise. I mentioned not hitting a fastball. Evan Petzold of the Free Press, Tork is hitting 148 against right-handed fastballs this season. Most pitchers are righty. The most common pitch is a fastball. 148 on the ones you have to make a living hitting. It's 97.1.